Abuse is one of the telltale signs of manipulative relationships, which can be very dangerous and harmful. For some people, it can be the most horrible thing they have to go through. The worst part is that victims of this kind of abuse are usually unaware of the manipulation. They are not able to realize that those who are supposed to love them unconditionally are the ones who are manipulating them psychologically. These people became obstacles to our success rather than sources of happiness and support. The harsh reality is that it is extremely difficult to change a narcissist's behavior. In most cases, it's impossible. The best way to deal with them is usually to leave them, but having a narcissist in your life can be even more challenging if that person is a part of your family, if it's your spouse or another important person in your life. Understanding their ways of manipulation gives you the power to react the right way. You can simply outplay them and protect yourself from pain. Pay close attention until the end of this video to discover 7 ways narcissistic people can manipulate you. Shaming. The majority of manipulators are aware of their ability to use shame's intense pain as a tool, and they are not hesitant to use it against you. They can be really cruel, therefore they are able to enjoy humiliating others. They like to use insults that emphasize dislike, hatred, or frustration frequently, and they are usually doing it in public in front of other people. The intention is to make you feel insecure and undesirable, so that you would submit to them. If you constantly put up with this toxic behavior, you can find yourself caught in an endless cycle of sad and negative emotions, and eventually you might feel depressed and worthless because of them. Deviation. Narcissists are using this on a regular basis to avoid answering straightforward questions and being exposed for lying. They cannot stand to be confronted, and they will do everything they can to confuse you and make you feel bad about yourself for confronting them. They might even try to ignore you by changing the subject to something else, shifting the conversation away from you, or answer in a way that is irrelevant, unclear, or pointless. The narcissist wants to throw others off and divert their thoughts. They avoid having to accept responsibility for their actions, and they would rather blame anyone but themselves for their actions and behavior. Justification. A narcissist will justify their toxic behavior if they are unable to cover it. Their explanations and defenses frequently contain fabrications or dishonest points of view. Even though these justifications are always based on lies, some people are able to simply accept them and consider their viewpoint to be reasonable or even fair. The manipulator will probably alter their story depending on who they are speaking to. They are always changing their points and opinions based on what is convenient for them at the moment. To avoid confrontation and humiliation is their ultimate goal. The narcissist wants you off their back in order to keep acting the way they always did without anyone bothering them. They want you to think you are crazy, uneducated, or that you are simply not able to think as they do. Malice. Narcissists not only find joy in seeing other people struggle or fail, but they also take pleasure in arranging unpleasant situations for their victims and enjoy watching them go through them and suffer. Because of this, they intentionally set their victims up for failure without feeling any regret. The failure is then utilized to degrade and criticize the target of their manipulation. This misleading manipulation method often involves sabotaging or compromising a realistic goal. When narcissists act in this way, they may be projecting their own internal feelings of insecurity and unworthiness onto their victims. Entrapment. Narcissists are not afraid to cross lines, and this disrespect can turn into a kind of toxic control and power. Relationships with hazy or non-existing personal boundaries could be described as entrapment. Manipulators won't hesitate to say or do whatever they want you to, in front of you or behind your back, since they have no respect or consideration for you. The sad truth is that no amount of complaining or asking will change anything with these kind of people. This process can occasionally be subtle, and the harm builds up over time until it's too late. This prevents you from expressing your feelings, asking for support, and setting up healthy limits. Making meaningful changes and improvements for yourself and the people you care about becomes really hard, and they will make you feel like it's basically impossible. Belittling. This is a really typical way of manipulation that manipulators often use. Narcissists will minimize your life experience or expertise while highlighting your lack of skills or the lack of your emotional or psychological development. They decrease your position in the social hierarchy and take away your ability for decision making by making you feel like a powerless, meaningless person who has to accept and embrace failure. Not only they look at you this way, but they also want you to feel like this, regardless of your real power and talent. They are doing this to make you feel worthless and empty, so they could take full control over you. They make you believe that if you don't want to have them, you will not have anyone else in your life, since no one wants you anyways. Fake advice. Narcissists love to cover up their manipulation. They will tell you insults, and they expect you to think of them as meaningful lessons, as something you can learn from. They will mislead you by giving you fake advice, which will only put you in a difficult position. They might truly make you believe that they are trying to genuinely help you. You can keep following their advice, and all you will receive is criticism or disappointment from them, making you believe that you are not good enough. This misleading method aims to minimize and degrade you as a person. The narcissist can assert power over you while never admitting their destructive and toxic actions and behavior. If you enjoyed the video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel.